Put it out! Put it out! Put it out!
The pig is engulfed in flames, but her skin remains unsinged.
Does it matter? I beg you, help! You aren't sure? How do I know it won't worsen the torment? How do I know you know anything at all? Okay, but I don't think... Yes, I have endured this for long. I can't endure longer. But please, please ease this burden, I beg you. It is the doing of Brachus Rex. Kings will always come to see themselves as gods. I should never have spoken ill of him. Many ages ago, we dared warn of Brachus Rex's gluttonous cruelties. We paid the price with these poor kind bodies and the curse of eternal flames. Praise means nothing. I would reject it if it meant a chance to turn back the clock and worship Brachus Rex as he demanded. Bring it to an end. I will trust you in this. But please.
Careful now. That's a trap. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Return to me, the one who watches over me.
Voice again. Why does it keep speaking to me?
More dead magisters.
You are floating a few inches above the ground. Your friends are impressed. You bask in their hoots and hollers. Your favorite party trick.
Master! Master, wake up! Master, wake up! Bones! Attack Bones! Then Sorcerer! Flash! She ran! Bones gone! Master, sleep! Wake up! Soon! He might! Was dead! Ever? Ever?
The dog is blinded by its muzzle, but it turns its face toward you, waiting for your answer. As she considers your statement, her nostrils start to twitch. She lifts her head and takes a long drag of the air around her.
Sorcerer! You! Oh! Master! Wake up! Never ever! Never ever!
As you approach the woman, Thane gasps. You turn and see that he's fixated on her.
It's her! The wrinkled human that stole my mask! Please, I must speak with her.
The woman traces glyphs in the air, and you cringe, expecting a barrage of ice and fire. Instead, a bit of smoke sputters forth. She cries to the skies in frustration in a recognizable rail-thin rasp.
My lord, I've loved you. I've obeyed you. What's my sin? How long must I suffer?
She sees Fane approach and punches her fist in his direction. Her face flushes red. It's her, the one that destroyed the ship to Fort Joy. Her eyes flare with recognition. She demands to know who Fane is, what he is. No one should be able to craft something like his mask. Fane dances around her question and reverses it. Who is she? Who is this lord of hers? She does not seem eager to answer him either. The witch opens her mouth to speak, but something happens. Her face droops and her eyes turn black.
Fane, the traitor shall be destroyed.
Her eyes clear, and she turns her head to the heavens once more.
I offer this sacrifice to you. Return me to your side. Make me whole. You will come between us again.
Aren't the only ones looking for me. Who? Why?
My false faces. Not as fair as my true visage, but better than being seen as a monster.
I've spotted something.
Stop right there, sorcerer. Friend or foe?
She searches your face. A grin spreads upon her own.
I suppose you're right. All right, then you can pass. But I suggest you don't. I suggest you turn around and head another direction entirely. The Magisters of a Shrieker up there. It killed my friend. May have killed that Magister too. I wouldn't tangle with it alone. Fact, I wouldn't tangle with it at all. Now's your chance. Just wander up the path there. But I sincerely suggest you don't do that. If you like living.
She gives you a long look.
Well then, if we're going to be friends, let me mark your map. See this place? There are others hiding there. You should join them. You're welcome. Once Gareth emerges from the keep there, he and I will join you directly. He may be interested in you. Me? Not so much. You're in the right place, but I'd find another way to proceed if I were you.
She turns her attention back along the path. You are dismissed.
That was quite presumptuous.
In the battle's aftermath, you suddenly realize the Voidwoken called out your name.
It recognized us all right, and it creeps me out.
I heard it. It called us marked ones. But why?
If it knew us, it must have been hunting us. We must tread with care.
How could such simple beasts know my name? Surely my fame has not spread that far.
Who's there? I can hear you. Captain, is that you?
A young magister tenderly fingers two fresh gashes across his eyes and face. His fingertips hesitate over his closed eyelids. He's been blinded. At your approach, he spins to face you and readies his shield.
Stop! Stop! Who goes there?
He raises his sword.
State your name! Now! Escaped. Hold still. I need to apprehend you.
He sidles blindly beside the cart, groping his way toward you.
I can't let you go. It's my job. It's why I'm here. It isn't about authority. I don't want to hurt you. I don't even want to keep you here. Don't you understand? You're so dangerous. It isn't your fault, but you are. If you leave this place, it could bring a void woken on your head at any time.
He continues to grope toward you, his sword clenched tightly in his hand. He opens his eyes a fraction of an inch and winces, stumbling over a rock stuck in the mud.
Undead. They overturned the cart, dragged us out. They wanted to rip us apart. We beat them back, but they got Faray through the heart, got me across the face. Landin went back to the fort to bring help. I have a job here. I might be injured, but I'm still a good guard. Now, hold still.
He pulls a pair of shackles out of his bag and holds them out, open toward you.
Please, don't make this any harder. You're dangerous. I need to keep you safe. I need to keep everyone else safe. Have you seen a voidwoke? Have you? They come in the night. They come by morning. They kill everyone. I've seen it. I won't let it happen again. Hold still. Please. Please. Oh, come here. Who's there? I can hear you. Captain, is that you? Who's there? I can hear you. Captain, is that you?
You are an abomination. A crucified figure blazing with sauce. You hear screams, and then the scent of charred flesh.
Run away. If you're trying to save your friend here, you're a bigger fool than he is. And you'll meet the same fate.
One cartload of purging sticks for a pile of dead brothers.
The Seekers
This
here.
better be worth it.
Keep a sharp eye. Once the Seeker's dead, go! We can follow the cart to the Lady Vengeance.
How much murdering does one seeker need?
courage in the face of danger is inspiring, my friend. Lucian guided your blows rightly.
His eyes travel from your face to your feet, then back again.
You're no magister, judging from that collar around your neck. How'd you come to be here? Name's Gareth. I'm a seeker. I can give you shelter and hope. A wise choice, sorcerer. I'll mark a safe place on your map.
His eyes scan the horizon and then settle on yours. A moment passes.
I can't stay. You shouldn't either. What did Lucian say? Ah yes, evil feasts on the indolent. Get yourself to safety, and soon. You'll always have a place at the Seeker's table.
Your grip tightens around the blade's hilt. You never felt such rage. These freaks, they are tearing the world apart. They must not live. Rivellon must survive.
You come at last. I'd no doubt you'd find your way to us, not after witnessing your bravery. I know you seek answers. I'll tell you what I can. We'd just landed on shore. Minutes later, Dallas sailed in on the Lady Vengeance, screaming like a banshee. We had no hope. Most of us were dead in the blink of an eye. She had horrors at her side. Shriekers, they call them. They still protect the harbor, firing pure death at anything that catches their eyes. The Lady Vengeance is still anchored there, too. Lucian, save us from whatever plot Dallas is concocting on it. Well, I had a plan. Gratiana told me of weapons that could counter these shriekers. Purging wands that steal source from its host. I went to that armory looking for one of these wands, but Alexander's bootlickers stumbled in first. I found nothing but dust and blood. We've got to find a way to silence those shriekers. If we do that, the Lady Vengeance is ours. Freedom is ours. I can't imagine anyone more capable. Lucian truly shines his light on you. See Gratiana. She knows every songbird and blade of grass on this isle. I'd go myself, but she seems, shall we say, dissatisfied with my recent failure. The Lady Vengeance waits offshore, ready to sail for a righteous cause. Find a purging wand. Alexander's shriekers will rot.
Told you last. Your type.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
We'll turn the tides, my friend. Divine be praised.
It's peaceful here.
Soon we'll be done here. Proud to have you at my side.
I'm glad you're back. Fiona. We can finally get out of here now that Gareth's returned.
Gareth is back! Gareth is safe!
She throws her arms around you in a tight embrace.
Thank you, thank you! You're so good, so kind, so brave!
She smiles and hugs you again.
What a beautiful day! What a happy day!
My thanks, friend. I can't remember the last time I've seen her smile like that. If there's anything we can do for you, you have only to ask.
Yes, of course, of course.
She extends her arms, reaching towards you with a look of total concentration on her eyes. You feel the collar start to twist, a living, writhing thing fighting for survival. With a scream of tortured metal, the collars snap, falling broken from your necks.
No more choking. No more silence. You'll never be a slave to them again. Divine blessings upon you.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
Did you see? Gareth's back. He's here to take us home.
Take heart, Leia. You're stronger than you know.
It is good to see you. We were afraid. We were so afraid.
You'll show your mettle soon, Squire.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
Blessed Almighty, grant these soldiers your protection. I pray you will strengthen their smell and set their I pray you see them safe.
I can make this work.
I pray this in your name. So, you returned Gareth to his flock. I must say, I never thought to see him again. You have my thanks for giving them hope, but I fear for their future. They cannot escape these swamps. They do not have the strength. Armadia has not gifted me the grace to heal, nor the strength to fight. There is nothing more I can do. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps there is another path. I told the Seeker that the soul-forged weapons of Brachus Rex remain hidden in a vault, but the Magisters recovered them before he could. Gareth failed to reach the armory in time. But there is another vault, hidden beyond the Magister's guile. If you can steal away these weapons, your friends may well stand a chance. But beware, such items are of limited power. If they cease to function, speak to me. I will be able to help. Its entrance lies on a beach to the north of this shrine. Beware. The beach is as dangerous as any corner of this marsh. But you'll do well to find the door. It is hidden by trickery and guile. Brachus's necromancers forged it, and he made sure they took its secrets to their graves. The Seeker is a brave soul, but he lacks subtlety. If he were to search for the dungeon, he may lead the Magisters straight to it. And there are items in there which cannot fall into their hands. No, you have proven that you are capable. You fetched the Seeker back from the swamp, and I have faith you can overcome this challenge. Armadia's blessings on you. But pray, a moment. This vault also contains relics of great power. Soul jars. If you return these to me intact, I could make an offering of them to Armadia. Her blessing could save many lives. Armadia's blessings upon your brave soul.
Didn't lose your head. Well done, my lad.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Did you see? Gareth's back. He's here to take us home.
What's this? I found something. What strange witchery is this?
Move, Quercus! Put some space between us and this lunatic!
Hey, hey you! Let me see what you've got under there. Go on. Show me your...
Ha! Clever.
Didn't I tell you to leave? Wasn't I clear that you're not welcome here? You can't teach a fool anything.
Careful now. That's a trap. Careful now. That's a trap. An illusion. This fellow must be quite proud of himself.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
You come to find. You come to search. But you won't find the way. A pity. Brachus has willed it. Trompnoy must abide. You have met the unfortunate guardian of this vault. Judge him with a forgiving heart. Fate has been unkind to him. Do you wish to move forward? Listen closely and make your attempt. Brachus is a bloody, rotten, thieving, very, very awful fellow. Some even call him a cur. A cur is either you're very good at guessing or the slightest bit clever. Let's find out for certain. Listen closely and make your attempt. Source is a scourge, a devil, a misery, a blight, a hex, a curse. And yet, the cure is... Perhaps you're not totally incapable after all. Or maybe Trompnoy told you the answers. Is that it? Is he hoping you'll... It doesn't matter in any case. The path is open. Go freely. I know little, but you have proven yourself a knowing traveler. I will answer what I can. Brachus Rex discovered the way. This he researched here, upon this isle. He could remove the source from any creature or individual. I saw the stars he used myself. They were most impressive. Brachus Rex has charged him, tried him, convicted and punished him. I know not the crime, but he has been sentenced to remain in this vault for all time and to prevent others from entering. Trompdoy was and is a creative man. He knew petty magic in his day, but this he has used to carve this place out from a simple vault, myself included.
It's a riddle, isn't it? A conundrum. What's it you'll have to solve? I thought you looked clueless, all right? Thing is, it's about the letters, isn't it? One for each thing. Easy. Yeah, sure. Hope you don't die. Well, nice to meet you too. Rude thing.
Open your eyes. Time to die.
nearby.
Don't.
As you pick up the ring, you feel a cold, dark pain shoot up your arm. Your mind itches. You don't hear, but feel a whisper in your ear. It tells you to slip the ring onto your finger.
That's plenty.
The soul jar stands on its plinth, glowing softly. From within, you can almost hear the whisper of a voice. You see, or rather, you feel, a far-off land. Frozen breath hangs in the air, pine needles brush your cheeks, and in your arms you can feel a weight. A body, dead. But you have hope. Your vision swims. You're older, but perhaps not wiser. You march at the head of a shambling host, the enemies of Brachus Rex melting before you. The scene twists again. Now Brachus stands before you, a beautiful woman at his side. You lash out in treasonous rage, but cold arms bind you. You're sealed away in a tower. Your screams fill the darkness. You feel a jolt and open your eyes to see the soul jar before you, lying still in the vault. Your hand falls from the jar and grips the pillar as you try to calm your ragged breathing. The necromancer's memories fade to black, but the feelings remain.
I'd forgive this soul. Punishment must fit the crime. This doesn't.
They may have been a necromancer, but they did not feel evil. Misguided, perhaps.
No one deserves the fear and pain I felt in that vision. Not even a necromancer.
No one deserves the fear and pain I felt in that vision. Not even a necromancer.
The jar on the plinth before you seems ancient, but is in surprisingly good condition. It's covered in pictograms that you can't understand, but you're sure you just saw one of them move. The pictograms spin to life, and you're dragged into a dream. You see the lizards of the ancient empire turning their backs on you, casting you out into the wilderness. As you roam, the human apes turn away from you, all but one. One smiles, one opens his arms, one says he'll take you home. Brachus Rex. He promises power, for a price. He picks off your golden scales, one by one, stripping you down to the bone. He promised you a crown, but all you got was shackles. You try to fight, try to reclaim what's yours, but a woman takes you by the hand and leads you to a tower. He promised he'd take me home, you cry. You are home, she smiles as she seals the door. This is where you belong. Your hand drops away from the soul jar, your skin prickling. In the back of your mind, you hear a small, scared voice whimper before fading to nothing. The long-dead lizard's visions fade.
He committed his crimes out of pain, not malice. He ought to be forgiven.
I can't help but sympathize with him. He just wanted to go home.
One can't help but have a bit of sympathy. Who wouldn't want to return to their home?
One can't help but have a bit of sympathy. Who wouldn't want to return to their home?
This jar glitters and glows. From within, you think you can make out the distant sound of laughter. With a jerk, your mind is pulled to a scene in a tavern. You see a dwarf in the center of the room, joking us all around roar with laughter. All bar the zombies, who are slavishly serving food and drink. The door opens, and a tall, beautiful woman stalks into the room. She's flanked by heavily armed guards. You can't make out her words, but see the fear in the dwarf's eyes. The dwarf mutters a word, and the undead lurch towards the intruder, but are cut down like wheat. The dwarf tries to run, pushing her friends into the woman's path, but is grabbed before she can escape. As she's dragged away to a tower, you hear her cursing Brachus Rex and his whore. Even when she's thrown inside and the door sealed, you can still hear her shouts. You pull your hand away from the jar, your head swimming. You can feel the dwarf's cold terror still twisting in your gut. The vision fades.
Any sins can be forgiven, under the right circumstances.
She must have been acting against Brachus Rex for him to have come for her like that.
Honestly, making the dead do menial work sounds kinder than having the living do it.
Honestly, making the dead do menial work sounds kinder than having the living do it.
The jar before you may have looked opulent once, but no longer. Now it's covered in grime, its paint chipped away, and its jewels long stolen. The soul jar rocks slightly, light flashing from underneath its lid. On its rim, you can just barely make out the name Gratiana. As soon as you touch the jar's cracked surface, you see a vision of splendor, silks, fine food, and decadent lechery. But underneath it all lies bone and blood. The vision shifts. You see burning villages, slaughtered women and children. You see her, purging wand in hand, standing amongst it all. She throws her head back and laughter echoes in your skull. A shadow falls across her, and you see a large, weeping face. She reaches out as if to comfort, but Brachus drags her back. You see her fall into the mire of the swamp, trapped. As you pull your hand away, you can feel a deep, longing sadness in your soul. Is it regret, or just sadness for a life that used to be? The terrible vision fades.
No one is beyond forgiveness. Whatever her sins, she can always redeem herself.
While she lived a selfish life, she seems to have repented. She should be forgiven.
Whatever a person may have done in life, they can always be redeemed.
Whatever a person may have done in life, they can always be redeemed.
The jar before you glows with a blue light. Its appearance flickers and changes. It is at once a brightly colored motley and then a deep gray. You hear roaring laughter and shouts, then the hush of silence. You think you can hear quiet, choking sobs from within. With a jerk, your mind is pulled to a beautiful palace court. It's filled with cheers, but you can almost taste the fear in the room. You see a jester prance in the court. He casts illusions, playing to his master's cruelty by picking on the weakest in the room. He lives for the laughter and applause. The scene spins, a new face, a new fool to make his master laugh. Don't worry, he's told, you'll always have your place. The door closes, and you see the illusionist in the dark of this dungeon. He's alone, surrounded by gold and deathly silence. Your hand falls from the jar, your skin prickling and cold after the vision. To die down here would be terrible. To live down here for eternity, you shudder at the thought. The visions fade to black, but the memories remain.
Whatever he did in the past, he suffered for it. His sins should be forgiven.
I must say, entertaining despots isn't anywhere near as bad as what most people in that court did.
He might have had good reason to associate with the tyrant. We don't know his life. He should be given peace.
There should be no peace for someone who panders to power. We don't know what other sins he committed, after all.
A soul jar rests between two fallen columns, emanating a faint odor of seaweed and timber. When you touch the glass, your vision wavers. You emerge on the prow of a fine ship. Your armor pulses with enchantment, dominating those who draw near. Your flag flies for Brachus Rex, a tyrant who traded for your soul. With his power, your flesh and blood is no longer relevant. The vision fades as the soul thrashes, trying to sever your connection. To be soulless is a horrible, empty fate. You seek out Brachus's vault, but the moment you reach the soul jar, he ensnares you. Thus imprisoned, you can only dream about what is out of reach. Your soul and that alluring armor. The vision shatters as the soul squirms away from you, curling up in the bottom of the jar. The soul jar pulses with trapped life force. The jar seems quieter now. It sits still. The jar shatters like glass, but a spirit rises from the shards like smoke. The ghost of a dwarf bedecked in necromancer robes winks and blows you a kiss before slowly fading to nothing.
Beautiful. Thank you. My death waits.
The pictograms on the jar stand fixed and still. You see a shape emerge from the ruins of the broken jar, a lizard in the finest necromancer robes. It grudgingly nods at you as it starts to fade from the mortal realm.
Farewell to flesh. Farewell to bone. Farewell.
The jar stands before you, cold and still. A human spirit slips from the ruins of the jar. Decked in necromancer robes, she turns to you, bows, and starts to fade away to nothing.
Eternal thanks, young one. Oh, timely death.
Look at that wand. It hums with inner source.
The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of vandalism. As you take in its chiseled details, you have a vision. The statue comes to life and embraces you awkwardly with its broken arms. Unable to resist, you're flown away into an endless dark. Suddenly, you hear a booming voice, disorienting you. Its urgency echoes within your mind as it compels you. Seek a shrine. Seek me. The deity's head and hands are missing. As you take in its chiseled details, you have a vision. The statue comes to life and embraces...
What is this place?
Its urgency echoes within your mind as it compels you. Seek a shrine. Seek me. The deity's head and hands are... As you take in its chiseled details, you have a vision.
Shrine seems to have brought me here.
Its urgency... The deity's head and hands are missing. As you take in its chiseled details,
That shrine seems to have brought me here.
The air is still and quiet in this strange place, but as you approach a mysterious figure in the distance, silence crowds your ears even more closely. The onyx eyes, three-layered crown, and feathered shoulders. You recognize her from the statues that stand tall in the desert sands. She is the goddess Zor Stissa, greatest of the seven. Her tail is coiled demurely around her feet, her fingers tented, their tips lightly touching. She looks at you softly, affectionately, and begins to sing.
I called a hero from the chaff. I called her here to me. I called a hero from below, and she shall set us free.
The great god steps slowly toward you, her song flourishing to a crescendo as she approaches. Her fingers remain tented. Her tail relaxes and floats gently behind her.
Hear and heed my call, my love. Your hand is mine to hold. Hear and heed my call, my love. I've secrets to unfold.
She is close to you now, her great round eyes peering affectionately into your own. She cradles your face in her hand and continues to sing.
You are mine. You are my own. Your life belongs to me. You are mine. You are my own. My champion to be.
Her eyes narrow to slits, and she steps back, looks you slowly up and down, and smiles.
Very good. You are not easily seduced, even by those you should be able to trust. I'm impressed. It seems I have chosen well.
She stands tall and proud, a great figure against the changing stonescape.
You will lead our kind back to divinity. You will ascend. You are my Godwoken. You are exceptional, even among our kind. Let me show you.
Suddenly, a whirl of energy enters you. You feel it uncoil in great bands, expanding outward from your belly to the top of your head and tips of your toes. You feel perfected.
I have unlocked a great power within you. One only those like you can wield. You feel it, don't you? The rarity of this power. Its ability to create new worlds, or destroy them. I bless the very water beneath your feet. Now you may wield that power for yourself. A first taste of things to come, for this is only the beginning. This is the task I lay before you. It isn't small, but it is yours to carry or to abandon. Over time, I will ask much of you, my champion. But for now, I ask little more than what you know in your heart must be done. Escape this place. Escape the grasp of those who would harm you. You matter. You above all others. Even those you may love.
Her pupils narrow.
You know as well as I that there are other forces at play in this unfortunate world of ours. Your so-called friends may be aligned to the very powers who would see us destroyed.
She gestures to the battle below, where tremendous powers clash in endless violence.
A new era is upon us. Not only does man battle man, but God battles God as well. They who prevail will set the new order. We cannot fall to the bottom. I believe in you. I handpicked you among all my beloved kin, because I trusted that you would succeed if you chose it. You will protect us. I know it.
The air is still and quiet in this strange place, but the onyx eyes, 3 legs, her tail is coiled
I called a hero from the chaff.
The great god steps slowly toward you.
Hear and heed.
She is close to you now.
You are mine.
Her eyes narrow and smiles.
Very good. You are not easy. I'm impressed. It seems that
she stands tall.
You are mine. Let me show you.
Suddenly, a whirl of energy enters you. You feel...
I have unlocked a great... You feel it, don't you? I bless the... This is the task I lay before you. Over time, I will ask... You matter. You good. But you must be wary and take heed. You know as well as I that there...
She gestures to the battle.
A new era is upon... I believe in you. You will...
The air is still and quiet in this strange place. The onyx eyes. Her tail is coiled.
I called a hero.
The great god steps.
Hear and heed.
She is close to you now.
You are mine.
Her eyes narrow and smiles.
Very good. You are not I'm impressed.
She stands tall.
You. Let me show...
Suddenly, a whirl of energy.
I have You feel it. I bless. This is the task I lay... Over time, You matter. Good. You know as well as...
She gestures to...
A new era. I believe in you will protect.
You walk towards the figure on the dais, but wisps of mist start to cloud your vision. With each step, the mist gets thicker, hiding the figure from sight. You see a shape through the fog. Reaching out, you touch the figure. It turns, and you see your mother. She smiles warmly, laying her hand on yours. "My child," she whispers, "my child." She steps towards you, cradling your skull in her claws. "It doesn't matter, my child," she whispers. "Nothing matters now that we're together." Your skull is filled with a sense of home, the sounds of a babbling brook, the feeling of a youth spent playing in the fields. You shake your head, your mind stumbling. Your childhood was nothing like that. "Hush, child," your mother whispers, her scaled hand squeezing yours. "It's okay. You're home now, home with me." "No, I suppose she didn't," the woman sighs, stepping towards you. She begins to melt away before your eyes, disappearing with each step like smoke on the breeze, until there's nothing left. You're left standing on the cold, glowing cobbles. As the mist clears, you see a new figure before you, a figure you know well from temples. Before you stands the goddess Amadia.
I am here to meet you, just as you are here to meet me. Please forgive my little deception, but I feared you might not be quite what you seemed. These are dangerous times. The void creeps ever closer, my child. Even here, even in the Hall of Echoes, I cannot be sure I am safe. It does. There is an intelligence guiding that darkness. We seven stood united against it once. We were always able to push it back. But alas, now.
She turns and gestures to the scene behind her. Down below, you can see the 6 other gods fighting, clawing at each other, everyone desperately trying to get the upper hand.
Because I have no race of my own. No mortal voices begging that they be raised above all others. And no link to a world that is ever more tainted by the void. For the void has spread everywhere. From empires to hamlets, from kings to peasants, it corrupts all things. I had hoped they would be spared from its ravages, but alas, the other 6 were too close to their creations. I fear it is too late for them, for us. But you, my child, you are as removed from the other races as I. You are pure. You can be my champion. You have been lost for so long. I will give you direction. I will guide you. But first you must return to the world and escape these swamps. Although you will not return unchanged. As your first step towards righting the wrongs of this world, I grant you my blessing.
Amadia stretches out her hand, and you feel a warm glow spread through your bones. You feel not whole, but closer to it, as if a new corner of your spirit has been unlocked.
You may have noticed I have tried to help you on your journey. That I can bless the very water beneath your feet. Now you have that power for yourself. And this is only the beginning. More and greater powers await you, if only you will seek them. And seek them you must. But before you begin, a word of warning. I gather that you travel with a pack of others. It is only natural. Undeath can feel rather lonesome. But you must be wary. Some of these creatures are more dangerous than they seem. They are God-woken, the chosen champions of the other 6 gods. They will walk the same path as you, but they cannot be allowed to reach its end. You must be the one. Only one can wield the power to stop the void. Only you.
She lays her hand on your skull, and you see it clearly. The others, the gods, Amadia, and you. You are her chosen. You are her God-woken.
So go forth into the world with my blessing, dear one. Heed my words and go.
Blessed branches, we've returned. Every second we spent in that hellish place was a second the great acorn drew closer. Interesting. You thought it was interesting, Quercus? Do you know what's interesting? Watching an entire world be strangled by the roots of doom. Seeing the giant races fall like leaves in frost. Hearing the screams of... I don't know what you're talking about. I am perfectly calm. Anyway, as interesting as that cold hellscape might have been, it does not solve our problem. We are here to stop the great acorn, not hide from it. It's already helping more than it knows, Quercus. The fate of the world depends on our ability to research a spell to protect Rivellon. We need to travel across the land, gathering clues, experimenting with different magics, and come up with a spell to shield Rivellon from its doom. Of course, for us to do that, we must avoid being eaten by the servants of the Great Acorn. And that is where our big, foolhardy shield comes in. Grand Nut! It's the Great Acorn! Quercus! Quercus! Savage the wretched giant for its blasphemy! No! I am not going to share our magic with it. I don't care how much you like it, Quercus. Very well, I cannot give it magic, but I can teach it how to forge one spell, if it will keep you happy. One!
The squirrel reaches out, touching your foot with a delicate paw, and you feel your mind open. You can see the forces of magic and see how to combine them in a new way.
There. Maybe now your pet will have a fighting chance. Yes, yes, you're welcome. But can we please get on and save the world now?
In the flickering torchlight, you see a Magister lying muttering on the ground. As you approach, he turns with a jerk.
No, stay back. Not another step closer if you want to live. Fight? I'm not afraid of you. You should be afraid of me.
The Magister nods towards his hand, and you see the skin is midnight black. It seems to undulate, as if worms were squirming through his flesh. He grimaces and tucks it underneath his arm, squeezing it tight.
It's in the blood. I can feel it. I'm just trying to... trying to slow it down. Stop it spreading.
He nods towards the bodies of the dead Magisters, twisted in the thorned blood.
Same as those poor souls. We finished clearing out this blasted room and wanted to move on to the next. As soon as they touched that switch, they were screaming. Some void curse. Dallas warned us to take care, but we never knew we... Excavations. Digging out old weapons. More purging ones. Enough to turn the tide against Source. We thought it'd be simple. But Voidwoken, undead, Seekers, and now this. We were doomed from the start. Dallas must have known. She told us it was old. Told us it was dangerous. Told us it was important. More weapons to fight the sorcerers, she said. She needed the wands, but there was something more. We got greedy. I don't know. Something powerful. We thought it might help, but whatever it is, the Void itself is fighting to protect it. Talos told us to be careful, but this is wrong. It's evil. Death.
He looks up at you, his eyes staring deep into yours.
I saw how they died. I heard them screaming. I don't want to go like that. I don't want to face that. Please. I can't lift my sword. I can't do it myself.
He lowers his eyes to stare at his black, squirming hand.
Just make it quick.
The ring just got tighter. A lot tighter. ring. It's loose. Get off me and stay off. The reputation of Brackus Rex, we should tread gingerly. What is this contraption?
Before you stands an ancient shrine, runes carved deep into its rock. The runes are in no language you understand or recognize. The shrine seems completely inert. You feel the source inside you swell up, filling your chest, yearning to be free. Your power flows from your chest and into your hands, green tendrils of power slithering from your fingertips across the shrine. The shrine starts to vibrate and glow, slabs of stone gliding across each other as it begins to open.
Oh, it's been cursed. This puddle, it glows. What could this mean? I'm guessing that's one of those shriekers. Odd. Can nothing harm this horror?
Keep moving, friend.
I could have sworn my helmet just jolted when I consumed sauce just now. It's getting tight.
As the source flows into your body, you feel a sudden gloom. Your helmet starts to twist and warp. Darkness pours from it, and a demon steps out from your shadow.
Hell's teeth, it feels good to breathe mortal air again. I can smell your putrid lives in every breath. How delicious, but not as sweet as the sauce you fed me. That rich ambrosia. Life's cloying nectar.
Oh, it's been cursed.
Blessed Mother,
It's
bringer
myself.
of magic, I pray, give them your protection as they search for the soul jars in your name. May they have the wisdom to return them here. May they be granted the strength to do what must be done.
This one might serve, but not for long.
And? Have you found them? Did you bring the soul jars?
She stops dead as you pull the jar out of your backpack. Her voice trembles as she speaks.
You entered the vault. You, please, give that to me. Give it to me now. It matters not. All that matters is that you give it to me. No. Stop! Wait!
She reaches up and tears off her mask, revealing a wet skull, stained by centuries. You stare into the empty eye sockets of the undead creature before you.
I have waited centuries, watching lives come and go, while my soul lies locked in a cage.
She reaches greedily for the jar, tearing the cap off. You see a green glowing light emerge from the jar, enveloping Gratiana.
By Armadia, I feel wet. Oh, Goddess, I can feel your tears upon my face. I suppose you deserve to know. Before I knew Armadia's grace, I was a very different person. I was the concubine of Brachus Rex, but more than his lover. I was his partner. I discovered his power to feed on the source of others, and I allowed it to... No, I made it happen. As his strength grew, so too did mine. There is nothing you cannot do when you sit on the lap of a powerful king. And I did it all. But power changes a man, as he changes his nation. Brachus grew paranoid, angry, murderous. Armadia, forgive me. It's true. As he grew distant, I just pushed harder. I gave him more and more, trying to win him back to me. I offered him the source of whole villages. He devoured them and demanded more. The lands outside were once green and beautiful, until I came. Until I turned them over to him. Now all's poison, and the dead are restless. Armadia is merciful in her love. I found this shrine while hunting a band of wizards. I found the goddess weeping for her children, and I wept too.
She pauses for a moment. If she had eyes, you're sure she'd be wiping them.
Through Armadia, I saw my sins, and I could bear it no longer. I threw myself from the cliff at the entrance. I tried to rid the world of my evil. But Brachus would not allow it. He brought me back from the Hall of Echoes, locked my soul away, and demanded my obedience. Even in death, he commanded me. Only when 2 source hunters ended his curse was I free. Since then, I have returned here and spent centuries trying to heal the pain I've caused. And now...
She drops the now empty soul jar to the ground, smashing it to pieces with her foot.
You have my thanks, sister. Thank you for your wisdom and for your bravery. Go in Armadia's grace, friend.
I can make this work. Maybe.
Did you see? Garrett's back. He's here to take us home.
Blessed Armadia,
Divine blessings.
grant
It's good
these
to see Gareth
soldiers your
safe and sound.
protection. I pray you will strengthen them.
Yes.
The menacing skeletal guardian looks at you wearily, then yawns.
So you dare defy the will of Brachus Rex, prepare to die, and so on and so forth. Let's get this over with. Why wouldn't I be? Every so often, some interloper goes and undoes one of Brachus Rex's curses, and I must murder the poor sod. I hope this brings the discussion to an end. I don't like being roused from slumber, only to be greeted by such banality. It is not my place to question Brachus Rex's will. I am to execute those who defy his legacy. Besides, there are far worse fates Brachus Rex could have visited upon you. This island itself is proof enough of that, I dare say.
She moans impatiently and taps her bony foot.
Yes, I know he's dead. I am still obligated to perform his wishes. He may not live, but the threat of his curse hangs over me. It is as you say. In any case, no curse could possibly be worse than this droning drivel. Be on your...
The guardian chokes on her words, as if strangled by an invisible hand.
Avenger.
The curse is lifted. Thank you, stranger.
At last, the fire is quenched. Thank you. At last, the fire is
The cub looks up at you with the saddest eyes you've ever seen. The cub stifles a sob.
I want my mum.
The bear cub blinks, sniffles.
Like me, I guess. Only bigger. You seen her, missus?
Panic and sorrow fight for position on the cub's face. It fights hard not to cry.
Oh no. Oh no, not my mum. I'll go find her. Mum, I'm coming!
The grief-stricken cub hurries off. The stone gargoyle trains glistening agate eyes upon you. Its jaws creak open, raining dust as it begins to speak.
You are not Brachus Rex. You may stay forever. Each lock opens only with a soul. And how many of those does one mortal have? Maybe you'll find some in the garden, or maybe your soul will help the next adventurer through. Wise.
Look out! I see a trap nearby. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Get back! Brackus Rex has decreed none of you may approach him!
Why? It burns! It won't stop! fire! It burns! It won't stop! It won't stop!
The flames! Douse the flames! Please, help! The flames will burn me forever!
Careful now. That's a trap. Locked tight. Surely there's another skull around here somewhere. Careful now. That's a trap.
The stony gaze of the gargoyle pins you to the spot as it spreads its wings before you.
Cheater! Sneak! Clever will only walk you so far.
I heard something. Something seemed to move into place. Careful now. That's a trap. Garbage.
Among the long crumbled remains of the temple that must have once sheltered his shrine, the stone effigy of a god seems to invite you to put your hands in his. You approach the still body and see its nostrils flaring. Long dead eyes rise to meet yours. As you lean in close, it lurches forward. Its arms thrash against the cage bars as it tries to reach you. Looks like it hasn't been fed in a very long time. The heavy gauntlets are cold to the touch. A prickle travels up the back of your neck, warning that you're being watched. Flickers of memory fill your mind. You long for solitude. The subtle scent of parchment wrinkles your nose. Fresh ink stains your fingertips. The memory vanishes, burned away by heat. Ash falls from the sky as a growling whisper addresses you.
I see you. And inside you is the strength I've been looking for. Patience. You must prove yourself worthy of such answers. You must find that place of longing in the home of a young scholar. I will draw strength from there to speak again.
As the heat around you fades, the desperate memory returns. It claws at you, trying to take hold, then slips away completely. You approach a decrepit well and stare down into its toothless black mouth. No sooner has your head crossed the rim than weak voices begin to echo from the depths.
Thirst, dry throats, drink, water, water.
The well is now filled to the brim with fresh, cool water, but what it has brought to the surface quickly evaporates any wish you may have had to quench your own thirst. You see the tangled remains of 3 corpses, a mixed mass of bones and skin from which 3 skulls protrude. They address you in unison, their voices a drone-like blend.
We thank you for the water. We bless you for the water. We thank you for the end of torment. The king, Brachus Rex, the madman with the crown, wrath and terror. We displeased the king. The truth we spoke, his fortune told. No divinity would he be, and so he entangled our bodies and cursed our throats, smoked the brothers of Baladur. We thank you for the water. We bless you for the water. We ask you for a fare. The fare, the toll, the levy. The people of Baladur must be buried with coin. Coin for the pathkeeper that leads the dead to the kingdom beyond. Spare us coin. Grant us coin. The more you pay, the further the pathkeeper takes us. Sweet Savior, friend of death and fiend of life, how much will you give? We thank you again. We bless you again. The wealth of the depths is yours. Pathkeeper, keep us. Pathkeeper, guide us. To the long-awaited kingdom we will go.
Laden with the burden of the coin you gave them, the brothers of Baladur sink back to the bottom of the well. Whether they will find their kingdom or languish in the dark, wet depths forever, you cannot foretell.
Careful. I've spotted a trap. That's a trap.
The air around the glowing relic thrums with power as the source barrier quietly crackles in the background. As you stretch towards it, you start to hear whispers in the back of your mind. From the corner of your eye, you see dark shadows rising. The whispers fade, and the shadows retreat. But there's a faint chill in the room you're certain wasn't there before. The air around the glowing relic thrums with power as the hum of the relic grows louder and bright light starts to spill from its runes. Cracks start to spread across the surface and it shatters like glass.
It's been cursed. It's been cursed. It's been cursed. Ah, the armor set is complete.